Yo, this is definitely Snoop Dogg and not a fake voice. Welcome to the Losing Streak podcast with Bankroll Bill and Automatic Austin.
Welcome to the Losing Streak, a sports gambling podcast for those who just can't seem to win. My name is Bankroll Bill, and I'm here with my co-host, Automatic Austin.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, what's up? Let's get into it. So I'm still in Vegas. It's my last day. I fly back early tomorrow morning. We're recording this on Sunday afternoon. I got to introduce my friend Carlos to the magic of maximizing your odds and craps, counting cards and blackjack, and how sportsbooks work. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Chelsea at Caesars for hooking up this weekend. I even got like Caesars robes and those like cool glasses with like the wings on them. They look pretty sick. Expect to see photos of those soon. How's your weekend been, man?
Pretty good. Easter weekend, just been hanging with the family, placing bets, same old, but having a good time, drinking some beers and, winning some bets, having fun.
Sounds cool. So we're in the elevator and my buddy compliments this like dude just wearing, I mean, they were cool looking dunks, but they weren't like special. They're kind of like, they're just like a silver color, maybe a little off-white, but not the brand off-white. But I was actually wearing my off-white dunks. So he points to my shoes and he goes, I actually work for Nike and you should be complimenting his shoes.
Oh, damn.
That was pretty funny. And then I ranted for a little bit about size 15 shoes before I got off the elevator. And he was like, yeah, I see how that could be a problem.
Does he work like, sorry, let's go finish your story.
No, I don't know. I think just like probably like a corporate office, I think is what it sounded like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I know the headquarters are in Oregon, and like the main campus is there. So I was wondering, like maybe he was just like on vacation too, or.
Oh yeah, everybody here is on vacation. It's either there are people like leaving right before Easter. There's people that are coming in today. I guess I'm the only heathen who actually spent Easter weekend here, but whatever. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So the event I was coming for, it was like a Jake Paul and those like boxing events, like kind of copied it. But Jason Ellis had this Ellis Mania event that was supposed to happen, but it got reported to the Las Vegas or the Nevada State Board as being an unlicensed boxing event about a month before, and you need like 3 months to get a license. So it got canceled. But he still did stand up last night. It was fun. We got to meet him, hang out with him and stuff. It was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But let's recap the Masters. It's almost over, but I'm pretty sure Rahm's going to win here. The pick that you gave.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we're now a golf handicapping podcast. We are experts.
I feel like I said, I feel like the Masters is definitely the easiest to predict who's going to win. And, I gave out the two names, and they were two of the favorites, but I was more confident in Rahm, and I said so on our last episode. And hey, he wasn't the favorite throughout. We know Koepka. How do you say his name? Koepka is how you say it? Koepka.
I actually have never heard anyone say it, so let's just say Koepka.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But he was actually the favorite for it seemed like pretty much all of day two, and then today, day one, it was Rahm. Then day two, it was Koepka. And then today, Rahm took back the lead. And now he's the overwhelming favorite. So it's pretty safe to say he's going to take home the green jacket. But, yeah, I gave out the plus 750. So I'm feeling pretty good. So, yeah.
I took it a little bit today, plus 150 or whatever it was at. I had faith in Rahm. And I'm not sure you know all the drama with like the LIV versus PGA Tour thing.
I know some of it, but probably not all of it.
Yeah. So that, like, obviously when it first happened, there was a big stink about it because, I mean, regardless of politics aside, it would be like another baseball league having, you play like, designated hitter for a team. It doesn't make sense. So
it'd be like a European NFL team or a European league starting a football team, and then half of the NFL players leaving for that, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like that. Yeah.
But then they want to come, like they play like in the off season and they want to come back to the NFL, and it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Right.
But this is even going on at the same time. But I mean, there's a lot of drama behind it because it's it's a lot of Saudi Arabia money. So people are saying, it's dirty money, and
but
they're paying a lot, and the competition is not as tough. So, but the thing is, Koepka, he's one of their LIV golfers because the Augusta National said they would invite. They would not restrict it based on LIV thing. And so the PGA Tour hadn't tweeted about or I hadn't even mentioned Koepka at all, like any on their official sites until he was leading, you know, the one round. So it's pretty funny. It would have been kind of a PR nightmare for the PGA Tour. Not that I really care about a huge, you know, billion-dollar company or group or whatever, but you know, it's just funny that the drama would have been through the roof. But I'm sure people will still have takes about it forever.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. I mean, we're not big like golf. I mean, we know a little bit about golf. I mean, we'll watch it, and I mean, we'll even play, but like we're not like too big into it. But yeah, it is. I mean, it is really interesting just the politics that goes into the LIV and the PGA stuff because it is a big deal. I mean, to golfers and people who like watching golf, and you know, I mean, it's pretty interesting when you go into the details. So I mean, we'll see how it all ends up. I mean, I feel like eventually they'll soften their stance on the LIV players, but at the same time, I do see why it's a little awkward, especially if a LIV player would win.
Right. Yes, but yeah, and as I said too, I'm also a very casual, if you even want to call me a golf fan, you know, I'll just like check it out sometimes. But like when that stuff was going on with LIV, it was everywhere on ESPN, so like I couldn't like avoid it. So I knew if I was hearing a ton about it, I couldn't even imagine people that are golf fans. You know, they're by everything. Yeah, and the weather. That's also to mention. The weather this weekend was crazy. I don't know if you followed that.
I heard. Yeah, I saw the tree fall, and not only that, but I heard just like their coverage on it was terrible. Like they weren't showing Koepka or Rahm like at all, apparently, even though they were the leaders throughout the tournament. And I just heard the coverage was really bad.
Yeah, they're finally showing them today, but that's because they're playing together, so it's really easy to show them. But yeah. But they had some people had to do like I think 29 or 36 holes today. Because of the way, because they kept having the delay. So that's all. I mean, when Ron brought it up, he said, I don't care. He's like, this is the Masters. I'll play as hard as, you know, I'll play hard to the last hole. He's like, if I have to play all those holes, yeah, that sucks, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of attitude. But all right. We can move on from that. We were going to talk about OBJ. We'll get into him in a second, but he was at the UFC event last night. And it was pretty funny. Yeah, they showed Justin Jefferson first. They had his name labeled and everything. They're like bragging about him. And they cut to OBJ. There's no name tag at all. And then I think it cut to like Usman. So there was another like black guy on the screen, like Usman, and I don't remember who he was sitting with. But then they put up the name OBJ when Usman was sitting there. So that was pretty funny. So clearly there's some kind of communication error. And whoever was doing the stuff did it, and then they put it up too late, and then it looked like they didn't know who he was, and then it looked like it was so funny. I love it.
That's pretty funny.
But, I think you didn't watch it, right? You were just kind of following along.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it. I placed a little bit on Masvidal, and then I was gonna play some on Adesanya, but then I went to go watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie, so I did not end up getting to place a bet on Adesanya, and he ended up winning. But it's all right. I'm not really a big UFC guy anyway.
Yeah. That I will talk about in a second. But yeah, so Carlos, he's my buddy that was with me. He got us to place a homer bet on Masvidal. But then we found out while watching the event, Donald Trump was sitting at the side. He was sitting right next to. He was there with Kid Rock.
I saw that got a lot of coverage. Yeah,
he was with. But he was with Kid Rock and he was with Mike Tyson. They were all sitting in a row. That had to be like the craziest table of all time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but we also found out that Masvidal is like best friends with Trump and he like loves him. He like and so he was there to support Trump, or maybe Trump was there to support Masvidal. So I was like, maybe we should have. But I don't know. The good news for Masvidal, he doesn't have to worry about that politics stuff anymore because Trump doesn't stick with losers. Okay, he doesn't like losers.
Damn, that's a little shot at Masvidal there.
Yeah, but no, he retired, so he's done. But the last fight though was really good, and I didn't bet it because I thought either of those guys could win. And Pereira did look like he was about to take out Izzy, and then he pulled this sick counter, and then just totally flipped it around where he got the knockout. And that was a great fight, great ending.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it. I did know a friend. Shout out to Riley. He was on Alex Pereira. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on him. So he told me he placed a lot on him. So sorry, Riley, it didn't work out. But yeah, I told him I had a feeling Adesanya was going to win either way. I just didn't know if it was going to be a knockout or if it was going to go the distance. But
yeah, I was gonna, I didn't bet it, but I was leaning towards more just betting on Pereira because I mean he just seemed like he's the one guy Izzy can't beat, and but I guess Izzy figured it out finally because. That's so frustrating to just like beat every other guy, destroy him in like every way, but this one guy you can't beat.
Right.
That's what was happening to him because he's lost twice in a row. So then he beat him this time.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll move on. We want to talk about the NBA playoffs. That's finalized now or very close to?
I think it's pretty much finalized. Yeah, we can talk about those matchups if you want.
Yeah. Oh wait. Well, since I mentioned OBJ, we can talk about he just where he got traded to the Ravens.
He just signed with the Ravens.
Oh, signed with the Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's pretty interesting. Does that mean Lamar Jackson is going to eventually stay with the Ravens, or is that just a little more smoke?
I mean, I hope so for Lamar Jackson's sake because, yeah, I don't like the Ravens obviously, but for the sake of the Ravens as a team, it would be good, if Lamar Jackson sticks around for at least a year. Right. That could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He obviously hasn't played in over a year, and then I mean, it's just weird. I don't know with the situation with Lamar. Even with the OBJ signing, even if I'm Lamar Jackson, I don't want to play for the Baltimore Ravens this year. I just feel like the whole situation is unfortunate because Lamar is a great player. Obviously, he's been hurt a lot the past 2 years, but at the end of the day, he's still an MVP and he's still young. I mean, he deserves that big contract. And even if you don't want to, guarantee 5 years, give him, 2 years and a bunch of money and then let him prove it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be dicks about it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know the intricacies of all that stuff with the contract years, but what I said before, I mean, obviously Lamar Jackson should go wherever the franchise actually will pay him what he's worth. So if you can't get the long contract you want there, fuck them. If they don't want to pay you, go somewhere else.
Yeah, go prove it elsewhere. Yeah.
He's going to be good. He already is good, but he's going to keep looking better. I feel like as time goes on.
Yeah, I think he's just got a little unlucky with the injuries the last couple of years, and at the same time, it's like, why would he fight for a team that clearly hasn't built around him for throughout his entire rookie contract? So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to the NBA playoffs picture.
All right.
So we know these are all. It's like they're all locked in now. So the 9 and 10 in the West, I guess the Lakers. Oh, so the Lakers do have to play a play-in, huh?
Yeah, so they have to.
The 7 because Golden State. You see that they won by almost 50 points today, man.
Well, they scored 55 in their first quarter.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I know Trailblazers are bad, but that's like playing a college team as a NBA team. Whatever. So some of these matchups are pretty interesting. I'm kind of worried about my Knicks now playing the Cavs, but I feel like
they're gonna lose, man. Sorry,
wait, who's gonna lose? My Knicks.
The Knicks are gonna lose. Yes.
Yeah. The odds to that point to yes, but the good news is I like both teams. But the good news is I like both teams, and so I get to root for whoever wins. And the Brooklyn Nets, my hated rivals, they are going to lose the 76ers. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah. How do you feel about this? Who are you liking right now out of the East?
I think it's pretty interesting. No team in the entire NBA won over 60 games this year. So it truly is a wide open race in my opinion. I'm sitting here, I'm not really looking at one team in particular. From the Eastern Conference, if I had to pick one, probably Milwaukee, just because they have Giannis and they have the deeper squad. But if I had to choose a team that can be a sleeper team, probably Philadelphia. Realistically, I mean, I want to say Boston, but they just haven't been looking too good. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the East feels wide open to me because, I mean, obviously Milwaukee's good, but I watch some games and I'm like, is this really the team that's number one in the conference? Even the Nuggets, it's like, I'm loving this playoff. This will be, it may be hard to bet, but it'll be very fun to watch. So the two loser teams that had losing records were the Bulls and OKC. So I'm okay with that. So pretty much you had to have a winning record to make the playoffs.
Basically,
so,
that's fair.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough for those low seed teams. They got to win twice to get just to get to the ability to play number one seed.
Yeah, for sure. So on Tuesday, the matchups we have Atlanta at Miami. Who do you feel in that matchup? We don't have any lines yet, but just right off the bat, do you have any like favorites just off of the names?
For that one, I feel like Miami's been going in the upward direction, if that's correct. Yeah.
Well, they're the more veteran team. I think I like that too.
And I definitely like their coach, even though he's like he seems like he's like annoying like personally or whatever, or like whatever he talks, but he seems like he's a very good coach. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Personal feelings aside. Yeah. Who cares about that? He focuses on the game. Yeah, the Hawks were 5-5 coming into the playoffs, and the Heat are 6-4. So a little bit of doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
But is it best of 5 for the first round?
No, it's just win and go, lose and go home.
Oh no, I mean when they play. So after they beat the Hawks, is the first round best of 5?
I think so. I'd hope so.
Okay.
Hope it's not best of 7.
I feel like that would become a long tournament.
Right.
But yeah, that would be a good game. I wonder what that line will be. What day is that game?
Tuesday.
And
then the second game is Minnesota at the Lakers, which obviously will be taking the Lakers.
Yeah. Minnesota, I had them money line today, and they came back and won, but they did not look good, man. Like, I was really mad about the pick in the first half, and then the Pelicans just kind of fell apart. But, the Timberwolves are coming in 7-3 last 10, but guess what? The Lakers 8-2. They are looking like a playoff caliber team right now. So, and they have the talent to do it. So there's no reason they shouldn't have the talent to do it. I mean, they shouldn't come off as one because they have.
I bet
all the pieces.
This line is going to be pretty crazy too. I bet you the Lakers will be favored by like 5 points too. So I bet you the value won't even be there on the Lakers, but still the Lakers are going to win.
Yeah, I might just take the money line and then try to hedge it with some points or something, because you know how NBA lines are. It just tends to be the free throws at the end.
Right.
Even if it's a lock of a win, but all right.
Moving on to Wednesday, we got Chicago at Toronto. Two of the I don't know, they're two good defensive teams. What was that?
What
was that?
That was ESPN autoplaying when I was doing something. I apologize for that.
Oh no, you're good. But we got Chicago at Toronto. These are good two defensive teams. Not really. It's kind of hard to look at these before the lines are up, but
so they do have a line for that. They have a line for that. It's
do they?
Toronto minus 4.5. Yeah, it says Toronto minus 4.5.
Oh, the lines are up for. Okay, so the Hawks Heat line is minus 5.5. The Heat are favored.
Okay.
So that value isn't there. Again, the Lakers are at minus 6.5. So again, value isn't there. But maybe we'll just parlay the money line favorites there.
Yeah. What about, is the Thunder Pelicans lineup?
Yeah, I have Pelicans are favored by 4.5. Yeah, I'm surprised these aren't like closer lines.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're all pretty similar lines too, like 4.5, 4.5, 5, 6.
Like I feel like Bulls plus 5 is a pretty I feel like I kind of like that one.
Yeah, I honestly haven't.
Even the Thunder, I kind of like the Thunder over the Pelicans too.
Yeah, I haven't really been following the Bulls and Raptors too much this year.
They're very inconsistent.
Yeah, I would think taking the points in most of these games, honestly. If you're going to bet aside, yeah.
Yeah, and then Saturday we have the Nets and the 76ers. The 76ers are 7.5 point favorites.
Okay, that's a big line too, man.
And then the Knicks, Cavs are 6 point favorites.
Yeah, I think we may be taking a lot of underdogs in this first couple of days.
Yeah, and here's the closest one we're going to find: Warriors and Kings. The Warriors are 1 point favorites on the road.
Okay.
And then finally, Clippers, Suns. Suns are 7.5 point favorites. So
Yeah,
definitely some interesting lines.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of value in taking underdogs in these games.
Yeah, but we'll definitely see how those all work out.
Yep. Did we want to talk about is NHL playoffs? When do those start? I feel like pretty soon, right?
Start pretty soon.
Yeah. Let me see when it's actually locked in.
Yeah, I don't see anything for.
Man, ESPN made the most complicated NHL standings. They like show like eliminated, they show clinched. But I mean, there's only like a couple teams that haven't eliminated or clinched yet. So I think they have like 2 or 3 games left. Yeah, when is the? That's annoying. Why don't you show me the playoffs? Okay, well, I can't easily find that. So
Yeah, I don't see anything there. We can try to just talk about tomorrow's baseball slate, or we can talk about some of our previous baseball action. If you have any bad beats or good cashes, anything you want to talk about MLB lately?
Oh shit! The Angels came back. They just tied it 10-10. They're at the top of the 10th.
That's 11-10 now, but yeah.
Oh, did Toronto score?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was gonna. I mean, it probably still is gonna be a bad beat, but I do like how the extra innings now they add the person at second base. It really pushes action. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you're betting overs and you have a feeling it might go to extra innings, that'll help some. But yeah, I had the Phillies had a really bad beat today. They blew that at the end of the game. I know you were on that too.
Yeah, I parlayed the Rays and the Phillies money line, and I mean it was looking. Obviously, I wasn't really sweating the Rays, but I mean I was a little bit worried about the Phillies. They were up 2-0, then it was 2-2, then it was 4-2 towards the end of the game. So I was like, okay, and then I looked again and they lost 6-4, and I was like, what the hell? But whatever. Phillies are always gonna Philly.
Yeah, and then the Guardians they kept trying to give me a heart attack by blowing. They just kept giving up leads, and they'd come back at the last second. So I think they tied. They got 2 runs at the bottom of the 9th. They had to get another run like in the 11th, and then they ended up in the 12th, winning by 1. So good job,
they
Guardians.
fucked me yesterday. I needed them to win yesterday, and they did not. But that's okay.
And then I had the Giants who were looking like ass all game, but I mean the Kansas City pitcher was doing sick. But
it's surprising because he was actually some of the worst stats last year, and he's done pretty good this year. So yeah, I might have to take him off my fade list.
Yeah, but then in San Francisco they got some bats going in the 8th, 9th inning, so that was a nice little win. I took San Francisco plus 1.5 when Kansas City was up because I was like I really don't feel like Kansas City's going to score anymore. And they almost did, but whatever. I won all those, so that's good. And then the T-Wolves. I mean, I guess we're only talking baseball, but yeah. So hopefully the Angels pull this off and they're bottom of the inning, but I don't feel good about that. That was 12-10.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've had any. I've been doing pretty good, just trying to be smart and playing, things that I feel like have good value and basically just sticking to my list. Fade certain pitchers, roll with certain pitchers. Look at ballparks. Weather alerts, make if there's a lot of wind going out inside, look at the over under, look at injury reports. But I mean, everything factors into baseball. That's why I like baseball. Like, there's so many numbers and statistics you can go off of it, and there's just so much action every day that you can find. So it's definitely one of my. It's probably my second favorite sport to bet behind college college basketball. But yeah, doing pretty good, feeling good.
Yeah. I agree with that too, because like with the money line bets, it's either they win or they don't. It's not you're not going to lose on some stupid fucking layup or something that didn't matter or some empty netter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So and it makes it for me with my mathy nerdy betting, it also makes it a lot easier hedging because when a run scores or like someone gets in scoring position, they pump up those odds a lot in like a reactive way.
Definitely.
And so it's good for you if you want to get if you've already got the favorite, it's good for you to get some underdog points even. Because a lot of times, it'll be crazy. They'll have runners at second and third. They'll bump up the odds from like plus 300 to plus 500. And then those people will get out and then they'll go back down to like plus 250. And it's like, if you hit that, that's a lot of money. But all right. Are there any games we're looking at directly tomorrow?
I started looking at tomorrow's slate. There are a ton of good pitching matchups tomorrow, so I think tomorrow's slate is pretty interesting. Just looking at it. White Sox Twins, we have Dylan Cease and Maeda pitching for the Twins. They both have under 2 ERAs. Same with the Astros Pirates. Those pitchers have under 2 ERAs. Definitely some good matchups tomorrow. Let me look at the lines on DraftKings real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of good pitching matchups.
Yeah, there's a ton, honestly. Tomorrow's slate is really good.
Not crazy that Greinke is 0-2 with a 2.38 ERA.
Yeah,
that's got to be like the best ERA for an 0-2 start ever.
Yeah, feels bad. I mean, the Marlins look good against the Phillies with Alcantara pitching. He won the Cy Young last year. Scherzer at home against the Padres looks good. I don't know. There's a few matchups. I mean, obviously we like to look into more stats, but right off the bat, those are two teams I'm leaning on. Oh, Patrick Corbin pitches tomorrow, so I will be fading him. He's one of my pitchers on my fade list. So he's pitched twice this year, and both times I've taken the over for the team total on the opposite team, and they both cash. So I'm 2-0 fading Patrick Corbin this year, so I will be doing that again tomorrow.
Who is he pitching against?
The Angels. So look for Mike Trout home runs, Ohtani home runs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He throws meatballs. He's very bad.
Yeah, and then expect the Angels to somehow blow it at the end of the game. So you get that team total going. All right.
Yeah. On top of that, I don't know. I'll have to dive into some more stats, but those are a few picks that I like just right off the top of my head, looking at pitching matchups. But I haven't been posting on my picks on Twitter lately just because I've been busy, and they just, they haven't been getting a lot of reception, I guess, which is kind of always frustrating. But I'll start posting my picks again, and hopefully we'll start getting some noise going. But we've been doing good. If you check my PIkkit, we're off to a pretty hot start for the MLB season.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, I don't think so.
Let me pull up my my MLB stat on my PIkkit real quick just to see what my record is real quick.
It's probably pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, I'm 26-14-3 so far to start the year. So my units, I'm up close to $200, but a $100 better would be probably up over close to $1,000. So, I mean, hey, if you want to make money, just all you have to do is listen to the podcast, follow along our Twitter and our PIkkits, and just have some fun with us, interact with us.
And on PIkkit, it's really easy. So that's PIKKIT. And you just search. I think your name's on there is what, Austin Sportsbook, I think.
Sportsbook, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, just search for him on there, and you can do notifications. It's real easy. And, yeah, he's hitting those MLB plays.
I am.
All right. Did you have a last word?
No, once again, Rom looks like he's about to win. So, like I said, I cashed that. I told you guys about that yesterday or on our last podcast episode. So that's a winner for us. We're I don't know what we're going to try to do. We're going to try a movie reviewing podcast. We're going to try and get a website up eventually. We're going to try to do some articles for you guys on our picks. Just do some more stuff to try and get some more interaction and some more listeners.
Yeah, I've got a busy school week coming up, but after this Friday, I'll be able to do more things, and I feel like those are all good ideas. Yeah, for my last word, I want to rant about it's called civil asset forfeiture, and it's when the cops can just like take shit from you, and you don't even have to commit a crime. They can just like take your money. Because my buddy Carlos was here, and this is like the craziest shit. I mean, I know this doesn't have anything to do with sports, but I mean, it has to do with money. But the cops pulled him over. There was no crime or whatever, and they found he had one of those like cash bags that you use to deposit, at the bank for your company, and it was $30,000 in cash, and they took it from him. And then now, when he's trying to get the money back, they said they have no record of anyone taking the money from him, and they even tried to like kick him out of the country for this because he was born in Mexico. And when my buddy Carlos, who was in the army, showed up at the court case or whatever to help his dad, like as a witness, the judge like threatened to like disbar the prosecutor person, saying like, how dare you bring someone before me like this who has a son in the military? You try to kick him out. But that was a crazy story, man. I don't know how his dad hasn't like gone postal against those police officers, man. It's like a small police department. They just take your shit and you just can't do it. Yeah, so that was like his like payroll for probably like a month or two or whatever.
Did he get the money back?
He never got it back. Like it was like 10 years ago, man. And he just told me about it this weekend. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So support politicians that support civil asset forfeiture reform, because that is fucked up. That cops can just take your stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I did not know that's something that could happen.
All right. I just had to rant about it because it was making me mad this weekend. But all right, thank you for hanging out with us today. Check me out at Twitter at Bankroll_Bill, and Austin can be found at
Austin Sportsbook.
All right, our email for the podcast is thelosingstreakpodcast@gmail.com, and our voicemail line is 646-494-7185. I still post on YouTube, and we promise we will do streaming. We're going to, or we'll do video eventually.
We just gotta figure out which. It's just we have to figure out a time. We have to figure out which platform we want to use, and then we have to figure out, okay, which event do we want to stream for? Do we just want to stream, just some picks? Do we want to stream like an actual event? So we just got to figure out a few things. It's taking us some time, but I mean, hey, we're giving you guys winners in the meantime.
Yeah, and I have to, make sure I do my makeup and get my hair done and everything beforehand. So, but but please interact with us. Twitter, text us, email us. We'll listen to calls if you guys call, and leave 5-star reviews. That really helps because when people are searching, it'll pop up. And we'd like to say that the podcast that tried to steal our name has not updated since. So, I think we are the losing streak podcast.
I think so too. I agree.
Yep. All right.
I did not hear any noises. Why don't you go ahead and play one before you say the goodbye?
Oh yes. Yeah, I've been slacking today, huh?
Holy shit! I'm gonna call.
Oh, I've been slacking.
There it is.
That's how I felt in Vegas this weekend. All right. Well, see you later.